All right, so we looked at physical geography, human systems, location, and place. Now let's talk about another theme of geography, and that is man-land interaction. We have here on the right-hand side a sort of a diagram showing the city of Beersheba, which was an ancient city that was the home of Abraham for a while. And they had a wadi. Now, a wadi is a stream that doesn't have water in it all the time. It just runs with water when it rains and during the rainy season. And so you had this ancient city which needed a constant water supply. They couldn't just sort of forget about water when it gets dry and there's no rain. So what they did was they had a tunnel where they diverted water from the wadi, the nearby stream, during the rainy season into an underground reservoir. You can see that here on the right hand side. And so this is illustrating a theme of geography called man land interaction, or sometimes human environment interaction. So that is, you find yourself in a desert or semi desert, and you got to have water year round. So, what means do you have to capture water, to supply yourself with water? And this is one way that human beings adapted to that environment. Here's another one. Here, this is actually a picture from modern times, of course, but captures ancient agricultural terraces near Jerusalem, the city. So you have a hilly climate, rugged, and agriculture is not easy, and really kind of almost impossible on a hillside. And so you would build these terraces using stones, and then you'd backfill the spaces with good soil. And so again, an example of human beings interacting with the environment. So here in our sample textbook, chapters 12 and 13 kind of emphasize this idea between humans using natural resources and impacts that we might have on the environment. Another theme of geography is movement. Now, you might be wondering what this upper right-hand picture has to do with the Holy Land, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the Holy Land, but does illustrate movement. My favorite beverage is sweet tea, and we don't got any sweet tea growing in West Virginia, which is my home. There's tea is a shrub that grows only in tropical climates, and sugar is a plant that only grows in natural climates. So how do you get me my sweet tea? Well, someone in Sri Lanka, which I believe this is where the upper right picture is depicting, is going to pick the leaves. They dry them out, process them, put them in little bags, and send them overseas to me. Sugar, same way. I think there is some sugar grown in the United States, but not much. Primarily, it's also, sort of more tropical areas grow that. So again, they grow it, process it, send it to the United States, and I have that for my drink. And so that illustrates the idea of movement. In fact, you might consider all of economic activities as movement, because if you grow a garden in your backyard, okay, maybe your tomato comes from your backyard to your table, and therefore there's not any, quote, geography involved. That could be disputed, I guess. But anyway, and because you had to get the seeds from somewhere, the little sample plants, the little, I can't think of the little seedlings or whatever, to grow your own tomatoes. So that had to involve some interchange. But everything else is going to be some economic activity, and it's going to involve geography, economic geography. So when you click the button on Amazon to buy something, Amazon, not in your home, Amazon from somewhere is going to put that in a box and ship it to you. And that's going to be the movement from A to B. But how did it get to Amazon's warehouse? Well, again, the producer of the item is going to have to, sell it to Amazon, and they're going to have to bring it to their warehouse so they can get it to you. So all those are economic activities. Here's an example in the center map of movement, and this happens to be people. So when Israel and there were two kingdoms at the time, Israel and Judah, and they were both captured by foreign powers, and their people were exported, basically exiled into these areas for captivity. And this map illustrates that, right? So the movement of people, either voluntarily or involuntarily, is an example of movement in geography, a theme of geography, movement. Another theme of geography is regions.